Kenny Samamiko, Hoopswire. What did you think of Darius' performance there?
Unbelievable. Everyone's going to talk about the 39 points and talk about that pass to Jarrett Allen. You know, he had everybody going with him, and he threw it. I don't know how he got it there, like going to his left. And J.A., it wasn't like a close pick. Like J.A., it was like a wide roll, so he really had to. It was an incredible play. 2 turnovers also, 39 points, but 2 turnovers. And even last game in Milwaukee, no one talked about Darius, but he had 10 assists, 2 turnovers. He is a true point guard. And now add the scoring to it, and you got an all-star guy. He's really playing unbelievable basketball.
Ethan.
Coach, this is a team, again, that had somebody go for 30 last night, now somebody going near 40 this night. It feels like anybody on this team can have a big game. How important and how likable is that to have a group of guys like that?
Yeah, it can't be Donovan every night, right? Donovan's been unbelievable. And to Donovan's credit, like tonight, he knew he didn't have it going. And he just kind of, he gave it, he said, go ahead, DG, you got it. That's how it works sometimes. But you got to, I've seen it the other way where the guy will, keep wanting the ball and not share it with his teammates. So that's a part of the strength of this group, that they're selfless, they share it. Who's ever got it going, they get them the ball. So, listen, that was 8 games in 13 days. 8 games in 13 days, 3 and 4. I do think there was, that was a mental kind of fortitude game because we didn't have it. We didn't have the juice. Shots were short. Didn't have the defensive energy, but really from a mental kind of toughness aspect, we gutted it out.
Talking about reliability and being able to come through when you need it most. Jarrett Allen.
What a block. Yeah, incredible block. J.A., and that was a big part of it, right? We were down 7 with a minute something, and BJ just told. But we got to stop, right? We got to stop after stop, and Evan had a big stop, and we forced a tough one on Dame. And so there's a scoring part, but there was also the, gritty stops at the end because we could not stop them. I mean, let's face it, they shot the heck out of it from 3. They were running by us, driving by us. But we got the stops when it was crunch time.
Okay.
What changed between the third and fourth quarters tonight? Third quarter, you guys scored 16 points and offense got back on track late. What was the difference?
Yeah, I think we kept telling the guys we got to keep pushing. We got to keep pushing the ball up. We got to keep our pace up. In the third, the game slowed down. They got to the free throw line. We started fouling a little bit, and it just was a slog. When it gets to be a slog, that's not our best. It seems to affect our offense. Then the fourth quarter, I felt like we got our pace up again.
You mentioned this is a mental fortitude night and said that this is 8 games in 13 days, obviously tough. But as a coach, when you can sense that your team doesn't exactly have its best, what do you try and tap into?
I'll tell you, what we did do, I thought was, and this came from my assistants. We did get Donovan and Evan 2 minutes below there in the fourth. We were debating, do we just run them to the end, and that's where you don't have it, you don't have your legs tonight. We got them two or 3 minutes there. I think that really helped, to finish the game. But man, you're just sitting there, like you don't have it. There's not a whole heck of a lot you could do. We tried to use our bench a little bit, got Luke in there and CP. That was part of the thought process with that.
Jeff.
You kind of hit on this, but the first few games you guys won, not handily, but not as tight as these last 2. So what does it say about your toughness in these last 2 games that you could win these close battles? Yeah,
I told the guys it's 5 minutes. I think we're down a couple of minutes. I'm like, this is what it's all about, right? These last 5 minutes, clutch minutes, or how we're going to execute, how we're going to finish this game. There was no panic, but. These are great if you want to succeed in the playoffs. As you well know, you got to be really good in the pressure moments. I like that we got pressure, pressure situations. We practiced it and fortunately came out on top.
Spencer Davies, Cavs on SI. With Brook Lopez setting the screens up so high in the half court for Damian, like what kind of challenge does that pose, and how do you think that your guys did with that in these 2 games?
Yeah, not great. Not great. I thought a little better job tonight, where Dame just wasn't coming off fire, and he had to work for it and probe and try to get to another spot. But man, he's tough when he starts bringing it out that high. And then what happened when he got it out so high, they started getting paint touches, and that's when they kicked AJ. Their role players were making shots tonight. So he just distorts your defense, and he's a tough guard. Had a heck of a night tonight, but I think we did turn him over though. So we were definitely more aggressive at the point of attack.
I know that you threw out Evan and Jarrett and all the kinds of stuff at Damian when he was up there up top, but how do you think Isaac did as his primary defender in the last couple of games?
Good. I know you look at the numbers, you say, oh, it's not great, but especially with Karras out, we needed him to play those minutes. I know he got fatigued. It's a heck of a job, but I did give him a good grade. I thought he did well. I thought when we didn't execute when our bigs weren't up there, up to touch and to deter them. But tonight we did a little better job with that.
Hey Kenny.
Hey, Nick.
8-0 obviously ties a franchise record for the best start of the season. But other than the wins themselves, what pleases you most about this?
The confidence of the group, the camaraderie. I said it about Donovan. There's a quiet confidence about this team. There's a humility, but they know they're good. And I don't know. It's not swag either, right? It's like we know we're good. And there's this feeling like and it's not a chip. This team doesn't have. It's almost like they know they have to take the next step. Like it's there. It's present. Like we know we have to do all these things, make all these sacrifices, all the stuff we're doing off the floor with performance and our individual work. They're making all those sacrifices, so they know they have that sense that they have to make the next step. And so far so good.
Mike.
I know you guys have much bigger aspirations than starting the season 8-0, but do you guys celebrate the many accomplishments in a season like that?
We haven't. We should have. You should have said something. I didn't know. You have to. And it's really difficult starting 8-0 in this league. It's so hard, such a hard league. Tonight was case in point, right? You think, oh, it's going to be an easy game. We're kind of blowing them out in the first half, and then before you know it. It's a tight game, so we'll celebrate it tomorrow. I'll tell the guys like heck of accomplishment. But we know, like you said, we got bigger. We know the big picture and what's coming.
Sam had a breakaway after the steal, I think in the third quarter, and he laid it in. His teammates were kind of giving him a little bit of. They wanted to see him dunk it. Do you think Sam was going to dunk it on that?
I think he's more of the slap the backboard guy. You remember did you guys do that was that still, remember you used to like lay it up and you'd slap the backboard? That's Sam.
Jarrett Allen had another 14 and 15 rebounds.
Jeez. Man, he's just, and I do think he's been fatigued these past 2 games, but he's that block at the end. He's just, I keep saying he's gotten so much better since I had him in Brooklyn. He's really improved. His offensive game's improved, but his elite rim protection still is what stands out. Now, as you can see what we're doing, we're switching a lot with him. We're putting him on elite ball handlers. He's out there on an island and does a heck of a job. But he means the world. I'm glad Kobe locked him up for a little while.
I apologize if you've been asked this. You guys blitzed Dame about a minute ago and got the over and back. Was that just get the ball out of his hands?
That was a field thing. I just saw it and I just told Donovan to go, and it worked out. But looking back, we probably should have done it earlier. But we blitzed to start the game, and they torched us. They came out and they started spraying around. The other guys were hitting threes, and it's weird because you're like, okay, Dame's not scoring, but now the other guys are getting wide open shots. So you're always playing that game. But that we didn't do it at the timeout. We didn't call that blitz. I just felt it. Just told them to go, and that was good play on our part.
Coach,
I think Evan had 3 blocks tonight. Can you talk about the play where he had the block and took the ball 94 feet by himself?
Yeah, that sums him up, like what he is. He's he's going to be in the running for some important defensive awards. I know that. His versatility, you all have seen it for years now, but he just keeps getting better. Now his offensive game is improving. I wish he'd bring it up more. I keep telling bring it up more. When he brings it up, good things happen, and just got to encourage him to do it more.
Okay, let's go wrap.